So it's early January, and so far everybody is doing fine. All the animals are okay. I say that because we have fluctuated in the last 2 or 3 weeks between -8 degrees and 65 degrees. So that can wreak some havoc on your animals if you're not careful. You got to watch over them. But it was -8 in the single digits for a couple, 3 or 4 days. That was one of the coldest stretches I've had living here. But we are over it. Right now it's mid-30s and doesn't look like it's going to get very cold for a while now. So the boars, I moved over to this pen right here, and all last summer this area was really hard packed and really nice because it didn't get muddy or anything. I'd put a lot of straw there and it made it really nice, but it rained for like a week, and I put the pigs in there again, and they started walking around in here a lot, and it just turned into that muddy, sloppy area. So I moved their food bowls. One's way over here and one's way over yonder. It makes it a little harder to feed them, but I gotta get some straw and hay back out here and just mix it in and see if that helps, because it's just a mess again. And I hate that. Danky! He heard my voice, so he had to come out and see what I'm doing. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh. Yeah. You're a good cat. I'll give you that. So, 4 cars come to a 4-way stop, each coming from a different direction. They can't decide who got there first, so they all start going forward at the same time. All 4 cars go, but none of them crash into each other. How is this possible? I'll let you know here in just a second. All right, the bucks have been doing a number on that Christmas tree. It's right here. It's almost stripped bare. It's what I wanted them to do. It's an awesome treat. So don't waste your trees. Give them to your goats. I think I mention this every winter. Chewing on my pants. But these goats are amazing because they literally look 50 pounds heavier in the winter. It's this thick coat they put on, this nice, thick, good old solid coat. Oh yeah. All of them. And Meadow, man, she looks like a sheep sometimes, man. She's just a big old fat thing, and you could press your hand like, seems like 2 inches down into her. Down. It's awesome. What are you doing chewing on my pants? I don't know if I said you could do that. Man. So I've said this before, but every now and again I will play a game of stubbornness with these goats. Because you're still eating on my clothes. What are you doing? Because I will put in a fresh flake of hay, and they will very, very pickily eat it and leave a ton of it left. I know that probably isn't top grade, but it's a flake of hay. And usually I give them a fresh flake every morning and it's gone at night. I give them a fresh flake every night and it's gone in the morning. So when they start playing that game, I sometimes wait it out and see what they're doing on the next feeding time, because that's a lot of waste, and they got to learn that's good food, and they have eaten it. Once they get hungry enough, that'll be gone. But every now and again, they'll be stubborn. Oh, they're stubborn. But goats, like I said before, they are super picky eaters. You would think from all the things you've heard that they're not, but they are. So if anything, if a cat has sat in that hay, or if I dropped a flake on the ground and then picked up and gave them to them, they'll know. And they will say, no, not having that. So it looks like, which is typical every winter, the goats will, when they set their mind to it, start destroying any trees in their pen. And the ones that I have not protected are fair game. This one looks like it's been freshly stripped of some bark. You can see the black on it. That's where I painted some tar to try to prevent this, but that did nothing. They just ate right through the tar and peeled that bark off. But that's pretty fresh. So this tree might be gone in the spring, and that's okay. It wasn't really doing anything. I got giant shablins right here, and right here. So this one really isn't doing much. So that's no big deal. Now I would hate it if they start getting rid of these giant ones. I don't see any fresh damage on them right now. And the larger ones can usually put up with some of the stress of these goats chewing on them. So I'm not super concerned at this point. And even if they did kill them all, I still got several strategic ones left that can give them plenty of shade. So not a big deal, but if you want to have shade trees in with your goats and they're not giant and mature, you better put some protection around them. It will matter. How you doing there, buddy? How you doing? Good goat. Yes, you are. You're a good goat. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're a cutie pie. Yes, you are. You're a cutie pie. Kubo makes me nervous. Hey, Kubo. When he turns his head a little bit to the side. When I came out here earlier, it was really tilted like that, looking at me. That's not normal for him. But that is when he had that meningeal worm, it made his head turn like that. I mean, I don't think he's acting strange right now. Oh, look, he has a little blood on his horn there. They've been going at it. You guys need to settle down, you know? I brought the ladies over to you earlier. You should be settled down, man. Goats. I'll tell you what, certain time of year, bucks will have a one-track mind. And you can guess what track that is. It's a power to behold, I'll tell you that. There Luke is. I caught him in the act. That's that tree I showed you. He's nibbling on some bark. All they do is start a little piece and then they pull on it and it strips it right off the tree, usually pulling it up until there's a big old long strip, and then just pull that off. Oh well. Can't stop it from happening, so don't even try. So I got some projects coming up, and some of them include preparing for turkeys. We've never raised turkeys on the farm, but Rennie wants to show turkeys at the fair. So I need to design some sort of feeding scenario where they have to climb up on a ramp or some kind of incline to get to their food so that they build up their leg muscles, is what I've been told. So I have to sort of design that. I have an old doghouse that used to be Piper's. I'm not exactly sure where or how to house the turkeys. I'm not even sure if that doghouse is big enough to hold a couple. It's right here. I mean, it's still in good shape. And it's kind of large inside. I mean, it would definitely hold a couple. But I don't know if they would like it. I'm thinking about trying to use that for the turkeys, because all my stalls will be with goats and or pigs probably this spring and summer. I don't know. Anyway, that's one of the things I got to work on. Look at these guys. Just prolific poopers. Goats like to squeeze out those little pellets all the time. So let me ask you a question. I have pretty good winter wear to come out here and work on the farm. One of them, this coat, I got overalls, got nice heavy duty boots. But none of this is rain proof. So I can come out when it's cold, you know, in the upper 30s, mid to upper 30s, 40s, and I can work on this stuff and come back in and it's just drenching. It's just dripping. So I have been looking for a relatively heavy duty cape or shawl or poncho, whatever you want to call it, to put on over my warm clothes just to keep it dry. And I can't find anything. I mean, all anybody has are real cheap single layer vinyl things that'll rip if you look at it, and they're short a lot of times. So if you guys have any ideas where I can find something just to keep me dry, that would be awesome. And a little heavy duty so that I can work around the farm and, you know, not worrying about tearing it or injuring it in some way. I'd be real interested in hearing what you have to say. Okay, well, this spring, in a couple of months, I'm going to try to do something with this pig and this pig. Even though that one's little, it's still old enough. But this one, ho, ho, ho. Man, if her and Paw get together and make some piglets, those are going to be fine little piglets. So the chickens and guineas stay in here for the winter. And they have nest boxes right here. The chickens used to use them all the time. Now they're not using them at all, and they're laying their eggs way down there in the corner. Not a big deal. I can get them down there, but I wish they would use their nest boxes. I know you can put fake eggs in there to show them, but I mean, maybe I'll put those 2 eggs up in the nest box and see what happens. I'd rather they lay them up there. 1, to keep them out of predators' way, but 2, because it's a big pain to bend down and get them. There, got them. So I'm gonna put them in one in each nest box for till tonight or till tomorrow and see what happens. See if it lures them into their boxes. And if I hadn't mentioned it before, that is a heated dog water bowl. It keeps the water unfrozen all winter. It even did it when it was -8. It was awesome. And also that little heating element that I put in the goat's waterer, that kept that whole tub completely thawed, even at -8. This little guy right here. You see that? It's just awesome. The water isn't warm. It's just, it isn't cold, but it's not warm. And the goats are watered all winter. The chickens are watered all winter. The only water I really have to worry about breaking up are the pigs. And you've seen me do that a million times. Piggly Wigglies, I'm talking about you. That's my daughter, I think. Not sure. What happened to her? Well, I come out this morning and those stubborn goats ate their hay. Their hay feeder's empty. So now I'm gonna fill it up again. Goats, I told you that was good food. Silly goats. So how can 4 cars all get at a 4-way stop at the same time, all coming from different directions, and all go at the same time and not hit each other? Well, pretty simple. They all made right-hand turns. Thought you'd like that. Okay, I've said this multiple times on this channel, but farm life has a lot of highs, a lot of good times, a lot of fun, but there's a flip side to that. There are bad times, sad times, times that are hard. And this morning, well, the last couple days, last couple weeks, it's been fun, it's been awesome, everything's going good. But this morning I come out to feed the animals and it's dark times on the farm again. We unexpectedly have lost an important member of this farm. It is what it is, and farm life, you know, encompasses that. You have to be ready for it, or at least understand that it's going to happen at some point in time. But it doesn't make it really any easier. It still hurts. It still leaves a hole, a blank spot. But this pen behind me here is a little less full. You can see Ringo there, but you don't see Kubo. I came out this morning and Kubo had passed away. Don't know why, don't know how. And that happens sometimes with goats, with most animals, but I hear there's a lot with goats. It can happen like that. You really don't know it's coming. It wasn't from age. He's not that old. I think maybe 5. I'd have to check. A couple months ago, he was acting a little strange, and I kept my eye on him. It lasted maybe a couple days. He had a weird gait. He was actually stumbling for a day, but when he recovered from that, it was like the most healthy I'd ever seen him. He was good to go. As a matter of fact, we attempted to breed him with Meadow after that, and he acted real healthy and the best I've seen him in a long time. So last night I came out to feed him, talk to him. He had a little bit of a head tilt, just off to one side, but he'd bring it back, and he was interacting, talking to me, walking around. Nothing was strange except that little head tilt. But like I said, it wasn't exaggerated, and it wasn't always. He'd bring it back, so really didn't think much of it. But this morning I come out and he was laying on the ground, gone. And for lack of a better description, where he was laying, it looks like there was I wouldn't call it a struggle, but a lot of movement with him just laying in that spot. Like either he was struggling or a seizure or something of that nature. So I don't know what happened. It's super sad because he was my main buck. He was the one that was gonna keep the line going, and now I got to rethink everything and miss him a lot. So we'll probably end up putting Luke in with Ringo, which is okay. That'll work, but it's all whack, and I hated that it happened. Yeah, Kubo and Ringo for the last pretty much 3 months have been head-butting each other silly. Blood and cracked horns and broken boards. I mean, they were being manly bucks. And that's perfectly healthy and perfectly natural and has nothing to do with what happened. Daggone, I'm gonna miss that guy. He was an awesome buck. Bye, Kubo.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to continue being a part of all the adventures and stories that happen on Rubber Soul Farm. I hope we can spend more time together on the farm, but until then, enjoy your animals and take care of yourselves.